Hello, everybody, and welcome. This is KZ, and this will be my State of the Channel address for 2026. Here we are. Great to see everybody. This update video is going to be talking a little bit about what we've been putting out recently, some of my upcoming plans and stuff, and just kind of like talking about some recent stuff for both channels, all that good stuff. First up, I would like to say thank you for getting the VOD channel to 7,000 subscribers. I really appreciate that. We're at 7.01. That's nice. We're still moving. We're pushing it up, you know. And also thank you over on the new main channel that I work on. It says Shin KZ Excellent here because for some reason the @KZ Excellent just doesn't exist. Because it's not on any channel I've ever made. And trying to search it doesn't give me anything. And trying to use it, they're like, you can't use it. Google is like a net of nightmares. But thank you for, so far, 1.71K on this. I did not expect a tremendous amount, but we've been doing okay with some of the video and stuff going on over there. We'll get into the main channel in a bit, but of course, this is going up on the VOD channel, which means that it should be focused mostly on the VODs and my stream. And also, I'm doing some changes to do a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. So let's get going. So this year, so far, it's been about a month where I'm recording and releasing this on the 31st, and we got a decent amount. We got a decent amount done. A lot of it was trails. To be fair, that's fine. So what have we been doing recently here? Well, as the year came into focus, I tried out some of that Super Mario RPG randomizer. That was some fun. Continuing to go through Trails here, with Trails Through Daybreak 2. It was the last game before the upcoming January release, so I was like, let's sprint toward that. We did some Lego Party stuff with Gleep. That was pretty good. I had a fun time with that. We tried out the some licensed stuff, so we did the Fairly Odd Parents game for a little bit. We didn't do all of it, mainly because I don't know, we just weren't feeling. It was a bit bland. You know what I'm saying? It was just, it was kind of just like light platforming. That's kind of all right, but then it's mostly just kind of watching them do bits. So it wasn't really going for us, but good enough to have fun for a few hours. I need to get into a thing where if I play a licensed game, even if it's short, not feel compelled to do all of it. You know what I mean? Because sometimes it's like, sure, I do like finishing it to have the whole experience in there, but you know, there are times where it's like, the stream's kind of tapering off. That, you know, we're starting to lose that energy. You know, because I want it to be entertaining first and foremost. If it's gonna be a one-off, as opposed to sometimes when I do a full series of a thing. Did Mario Kart World, Pokemon Snap. I was trying to do like smaller things, and every other day it was gonna be something like this or this, and then the opposite days would be Trails. And then we moved into Trails Beyond the Horizon, which I went into after streaming for about a couple of days beforehand, like on Tuesday and Wednesday. Then Thursday hit, Horizon came out, and then I realized that I probably am just going to binge this every day until I finish it. So we just went off and started doing that. And the series is going to be 11 parts. Only 6 of them are out now at the time of releasing this, but they'll be coming out every other day. So about, I think it's like either, I don't know, like the 8th or the 9th or something. In February, that'll be done and be up. And then we're done with Trails for a little bit. Funny enough, they put up a trailer for the remake of the second game, but that's coming out in fall. So for people who are like, who, you know, are looking for a little bit something different from me, good news, we're all done. Over the process of 9 months on the channel, we did Cold Steel 3, 4, Reverie, the first remake, Daybreak 1, Daybreak 2, and then this Horizon game. So we were all caught up on that. Feels great. I do feel bad that I never did Trails to Azure in any video form. I kind of played it on my own after playing a chunk of it for videos on the back when I did Let's Plays. It's one of those things which kind of just sticks out at you, like it's the one that didn't fit in there. Also, I'm like low on it when I talk about it, which makes it seem even worse, you know, where it's like, But the game's fine. I do feel bad about not having thing of it, because I do like kind of, it's like a scrapbook, a lot of my content, you know. But we had that going on. We've done some Sonic Racing stuff a little bit here. Some other streams that haven't come out yet. A Super Nintendo Roulette series. We did 2 parts of it for 2 days. This was to fundraise for rent, so I let people donate to pick a game for me to play for a half hour, and let people pay an amount that's a little bit more to like eject if the game is truly horrible that we're going through. And that bit worked really well. People really liked it. Those streams were great. And we did Sopranos Road to Respect on PS2 recently. That was also great. A lot of fun games. Now that we've kind of like talked about this for a little bit, I do want to move on to some other stuff. Let's see, what else do we got going on? I would like to briefly talk about, yeah, we'll do the second channel thing after we get through some more of this. So, having gone through that and having been thinking about like changes for the year, I have to say there are some parts of the stream that I wanted to finally upgrade. People may have noticed that there's been a period of time for a while now that I changed up some of my layout stuff. What's a good way to describe this? The party games, probably. Help it. So our default layout was this wonderful piece. All of my assets made by Kimchu, who's on, I believe, Twitter and Blue Sky. Not too sure. Haven't checked in a while, but they've done every stream layout for my stream since had to have been like 2020, and it's been great work. But this was the 16:9 layout they did, which you can see it has like the bars in the bottom left, this large horizontal space, big ass chat box, big ass feed here. I came to the realization when I transitioned from being an ethereal voice to being like an animated little PNG, like a PNG tuber with the Foogies is what they are called through the website that's used for it. And all my co-hosts are like PNGs in that. It made it so that the bottom left bar here, this negative space just wasn't really needed. Like, sure, there's one part of it for like the bar for like a sub goal or a donation goal, but then you have this side up here that would have just been a scrolling list of the people. And sure, it's a bit in, you know, having a name to attach to it is good, but we say each other's names and stuff in general, and people kind of figure it out as we go. I feel like that's perfectly fine as opposed to just having that there. It was between that and just some space stuff here that I feel like I could refresh this in a way. You can feel it even more, I would say, with scaling stuff for specific 4x3 content. Also, when it comes to like negative space, like this, for example, where there's a lot less game feed here, it's trying to like fit in all the assets I need. And I was thinking about doing something like that. I could have had something made, commissioned, but I'm in a spot where I don't have the money to like do that as much as I like doing it. And also, I do like the visual identity of the channel still. I'm using it on stuff on the new main channel where I do edited content, and I like the visual background that we're using here. So this became a thing of, okay, let's not change any of that. So what are we looking at now then? So wanted to talk a little bit about it. So that's why we've had game stuff happening in the background here, because gonna go ahead and show the new look. So let's jump on over to the new 16:9 look, which you can see here. So this is the new setup. This is eliminated a lot of negative space around, like crunched the feed up to the top right, and then I spread it out while keeping the aspect ratio and everything nice and clean. Make it look real nice. Give it plenty of space. Finally getting rid of that bottom left bar. Then going, okay, let's see if we can trim the chat size down a little bit. And some other changes, like we got the logo locked in still, wonderfully animated. I decided to add a new box right next to it that's going to be whatever the current game is. It's an extra step for me to do every stream, but I kind of like the appeal of, like, having a visual indicator of whatever game it is, which might also be helpful whenever something gets clipped, that you can see that. You can of course see my Fugi up here, which will, you know, this Neko one will always be the default. It just happens to be one of the few that I have that is, one, of splendid quality, and two, has a talking mode, and then my mouth closed when I not talk. We also have the chat running. You might be wondering why it's blurred. I was testing out the chat to make sure it works, and I found a new generator for it. You can go online. I think it's called Chat IS. That lets you plug in a bunch of font settings and a bunch of stuff like that. But it also lets you plug in any streamer name as you generate it, which is great because whenever you're testing a chat, you need chatters for it, and I didn't have any at all. So because I'm offline, so I just plugged in a popular streamer and then just plugged it in there, and I just decided to blur because I feel like it's kind of disrespectful as hell, just fucking blasting it out on social media here. But I did get it nice and working. Now, this uplift looks nice as it is here, and I got all the alerts and everything working fine. Hold on, can I get the alerts to work? You forgive me, I have all of this on the... Oh, wait, we're not on the other screen. I can totally move this onto my primary... There we go. Now I'm not breaking my neck making this video. For example, we got the alerts still running, and those are working perfectly fine. So I can just bring out an old one here. Family Christian stream just subscribed. I think that's funny. I'm just replaying an old one from a gift sub. We got all this working good. And of course we got the sub goal, and of course if I had like a stream goal of some sort, like I can just have it populate right here. It slots in. I love when everything's like nice and clean. And something that was kind of my ick for streams is I hate alerts and overlay stuff that touches the game feed. I like the idea of the game feed being this like unimpeachable, unpierceable thing. Sure, if I post like an edit someone made in chat, I will put it in the center of the screen to like show it off. But I try to keep this whole thing from being interrupted in some way and being messed up with. But I feel like you're going to see a lot of the uplift if you watch my 4x3 streams where it's a very zoomed out thing for the visual assets. I think you'll see a nice uplift with the 4x3 screen, which is this right here. Now this I like quite a bit. Now, that being said, there's significantly less space I can do to play around with stuff. There's no bar, but this is a nice 4x3 look. Nice and zoomed in. Plenty of stuff here. And of course, I got the chat working just fine. And it still has the things I need, which is me, the game feed, a spot for the sub and or stream goal at any point that I would need, right? Right. So like that. Logo, current game chat, me, game, all that. And of course, if I have co-hosts and stuff, they will be up here in the top left with me. I'm still figuring out like some folder stuff and some upkeep. Just this is more like the how he pumps the tires type of conversation, but you know, just figuring out how do I position things to make it very easy to work with. I've kind of just been in my zone with how I've done the stream content and how I've done everything in the back end, and I haven't really adjusted it in a while. But this is also just kind of a thing where I'm just kind of like just clocking in and not really messing with stuff, which I feel like I need to mess with stuff. I feel like I'm a bit too much on cruise control, which, you know, I'm excited to update some stuff like this, and I generally am really happy with how this looks. And it made sense to do it after I took a day or two off after doing a streak of 18 straight days of streaming. 11 of those were like, you're doing 8 or 9 hours on stream, and then some more on prepping the next one, where I was just like, oof. And then just doing another week, another like half a week, maybe a little bit more on top of it, for fundraising and fun streams. I definitely felt burned to my core. Feeling good now on this day off because I'm just chilling. I'm chilling, and I got really stoned and made this. I need you to know I did all of this while high. You enter that fugue state of like, all you do is you work it, you go pixel by pixel to like figure out the layout here, and I'm really happy with how this looks. I think it looks really, really sharp, and this is the layout we're going to be using for the next little bit. For this scene, my co-host will like populate the bottom bar of just space where the socials go, and in the 4x3 they'll just hang out with me up there. But either way, I'm pretty happy with how this looks, and it's great. And you know, the animation and stuff, great. Fun tip, by the way, the logo that's animated over there, I do not have a transparent version of the logo going in there. It's baked into the old scene. So part of this setup, I went, okay, I need this game box here being next to it is perfect because it allows you to not immediately notice that it is not like I cut out a square of the original scene that has that logo in it. That's why you can see the assets on it are going in the opposite direction as the ones to the direct left of it. I was like, let me cut out this piece and put it in its own box, and that allows it to not look bad. I also kind of like ended up flipping some stuff in the background of the top left too, because I just kind of realized that certain parts of my background asset are like very dark. Because it's a natural purple gradient. But I figured it out a little bit, and now this looks really nice. I don't know why I'm the magician telling you the secrets of it. Everything here is like rigged up in a certain way that it definitely took a good several hours to figure out exactly what I wanted to do, how I wanted it to work, and everything. I was considering doing some changes to like the intro screen and perhaps the credits maybe and stuff like that, but I kind of came away going, yeah, we don't need to mess with too much, I think a lot of those are like figured out. Don't think that those are that much of a problem. I guess what I didn't show was that how I've the alerts here I managed to fit right under me. If I can see if I can find here we go. Here's another gift sub alert. It pops up right here. Check it out. That shit is crazy. Great. Awesome. Anyway, you may be wondering about the screen that I used to use that was basically a full screen but a top bar that was like a news ticker that would show the chat. I would do that because I just kind of wanted something that was a bit more big widescreen, more focus on the game and everything. And I felt like there was so much negative space that if I was doing a stream that was predominantly solo, a lot of those assets and a lot of that space could be used with more of the game. But now with the new setup, I don't really need that. I've eliminated that negative space, so these two layouts are predominantly the only ones you're going to see during a stream, aside from maybe the break screen that I hardly use. But anyway, let's get back to the other parts of the update. But that is essentially the impetus of making a video talking about the content, was that I've updated this and I thought I'd let you know about it. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the second channel, which is kind of, I call it the main channel because it's the channel where I like craft videos for it, whereas the VOD channel is a way for you to watch my streams on YouTube because YouTube's a better place to watch streams that are done, in my opinion, than like Twitch, you know. Like their player just ain't as hot, you know, and I've been doing YouTube for years, so just so makes sense. So here it is. This is KZ Excellent. Shin KZ Excellent on the app because for some reason KZ Excellent's not available. Never used it. I've never used it, but apparently it doesn't work. So we got some videos on here. I opened this up about 6 months ago. I wanted to get back into Supercuts. I finally switched off Vegas to DaVinci Resolve, which I have to say it's been transformative in terms of workflow. Vegas has just stopped functioning as an editor. I've been using that as my editor, Sony Vegas. Now I think it's like Magic since 2008. Since I was like 16, I've been using that editor, and I swapped off to this new one. Great, because anytime I loaded a video into that one, I felt like it wanted to crash. The player, when you play the footage, couldn't run it, even on like draft quality, where like you're looking at a 144p version of the footage you have, it just barely could run. I have a lot of issues with how editing works on this new one, but every other part of it works really great. It runs well. It runs well, and it renders things hyper fast. I can like I can edit a stream that broke, that's 8 hours, and then have the render of it done in about 35 minutes. That feels great. So I decided to start doing edited videos, and I wanted to see if I could make it work. And, well, here we are. So I did what I always think is important if you're going to load up a new channel, is put a few things up there. At least 2 things need to exist on the channel to make it, to be like, hey, it's getting off the ground. You can't say, I'm starting and here's one thing. I feel like you need at least 2, so I grabbed 2 different types of supercuts. I made one for Death Stranding 2 of my playthrough of it. This video didn't do incredibly well. It took a bit to hit 1K, which, unfortunate, but, you know, this was one that I kind of wanted to do because I really, really liked that game. If a game I think is like, I had a really great experience with, sometimes that ends up happening. More of like a narrative supercut in bits, but there are plenty of fun things going on here. Pretty happy with this one. Got this one in there. I like that the generated GIF part is a part in which I cut to a part of the part where a woman gets struck by lightning in Venom 3. That's great. Awesome. Then we did a Mario Kart World highlight video, which was pretty good. Pretty good. I got some good material out of that one. And then I did my first, and it's one of my only, like, intentioned video to try and see if I could hit the algorithm, and wow, that shit works. I made an all levels ranked video for Donkey Kong Country 1 through 3 because Bonanza was coming out. And I gotta say, it worked out pretty well. 33,000 views on this damn thing. A lot of people get to be upset that I ranked Necky's Nuts really high and put the bosses in there, despite the fact that you probably shouldn't rank them. Or people mad that I didn't put the returns ones in there, but it just wouldn't have been good. I had to, like, lock into the games I know really well. And that video was a nightmare. That video was a bit of a nightmare to assemble, but was really happy with how it turned out and how it was received. As someone who likes watching video essays or videos that are really long that you put in the background of someone going through a thing for a long time, I'm glad that I made my own one of those. So we did that. And then Donkey Kong Bonanza came out, so I made a supercut of that, which did well because a lot of people wanted to see, like, people's reactions to various parts of that game. And then, you know, it also became the home of my reaction content, so there's a lot of that here. Like Nintendo Direct, State of Play. Sometimes I'm solo, sometimes I got a group. If I want to do something like voting during the Game Awards, I did that, of course. And then other supercuts where I don't, like, label it as a supercut. I kind of try to mess around with, like, the title of it. Like, this is a Mortal Kombat Armageddon story mode one, and I just called The Legend of Taven. Awful Bird Noises is our Angry Birds filled session of Mario Party from like a year and a half ago. And then of course we have this true crime supercut here. Very happy with these. Like I'm thinking a lot of it's really come together. But the other thing we did, and that we started with a brand new series, it's called Movie. This is where I get incredibly stoned out of my mind with some people, and we come together and we watch a couple of films, and we spin a wheel. One's a list of good movies we submitted that at least one of us has seen, and another wheel is bad, and we do them all in one sitting, and we help determine a master list through each episode of the best movies ever. We have about 3 of these in the tank. I'm gonna put out the second one soon. I just wanted to get another video of something out in between it. I don't want the channel to kind of just be the same video over and over again. I try my best to avoid that streak. Like, I'm not a fan of, like, there being 2 reaction videos here and 2 reaction videos in a row. I kind of want there to be at least some variety to it. But, you know, in the end, it'll be like that. It's like when a Maximilian dude, like, puts out, like, 6 reaction videos in a row. That's gonna happen whenever it's, like, maybe a big event's happening, but I'm going to try my best to split it up, but this is, you know, of course, something I have to balance with streaming, so it's difficult. Really enjoy the podcast stuff. We're going to get some more work done on that soon, and the second episode of it will be coming out within the next 2 weeks, guaranteed. Sorry that it's been taking so long on it, but just been working on a lot of stuff, and also the Trails stuff has been monopolizing my time in terms of something I wanted to prioritize. But now that's done, things are gonna be pretty good. Everything's gonna start settling a little bit. But I guess that's what's going on with me. Let's see. future stuff for the channel. Just trying to think about it in terms of big playthroughs and stuff that I want to do soon. And there isn't a lot coming up yet. So I would say, but my goal here is to just like put out some good streams and like feel really good about the stuff that's coming out. So a lot of it's going to be impromptu. A lot of it's going to be me looking through my lists here and going, ooh, I would really like to do that. But of course, some licensed stuff. We like doing those. Some retro stuff. Maybe some, and of course some JRPG stuff. I have a couple of ideas, but I don't want to commit to anything on video because it give people's hopes up, and they're like, oh damn, I'm waiting for the thing, and then I'm like, oh no, I fucked up. Oh damn it. But I think overall that is kind of what we're looking at here. That is a summation of the state of the channel. The state of the channel is that it's doing good. Yeah, I think it's doing well. I'm still the same, same streamer I was last year, horrifically in debt, living alone, but having a good time with the audience and my friends, chilling out, playing games, I'm feeling pretty good. Of course, my main goal is to get some more stuff out into the solo channel, the main squeeze a little bit more, some more edited content. Hoping I can get some of that off the ground, and I hope the streams can be better, and I hope these new layouts will be a better viewer experience for people. And I'm gonna continue on this upload schedule I've been doing recently of the YouTube is delayed from what you experience in the live channel, but I try to make it so there's consistently something coming out in which I put out something. If something is uploaded on the day, it'll always be at 2 p.m. Eastern. And I'm trying to stay ahead on that. So excited to keep up with that and hopefully keep up with posting schedules for anything that comes out on the community tab or the post tab that you can see on the relative channels. And if I never have a schedule up on like socials like Blue Sky, Twitter, or over here on YouTube, it's because I'm not running a schedule at that time. There are times where it's like, I'm just gonna play Beyond the Horizon every day, and there's no point in having a screen that tells you that I'm gonna be doing it every day. But if I like have a prepped plan for stuff, I will do that. It's always tough, like when you work alone, creating structure on your own and like taking that it's a mess. I'm a one-man operation. Everything just happens because I will it. I push it through, which means that a lot of things are just it's very, very difficult, And as someone who has to stream as much close to daily as possible to keep the lights on and everything, because that's just what streaming is. You must always run on the treadmill. It becomes that thing of like, I need to not do any of this. I need to hurry up and turn the stream on. I need to turn on the me. I need to turn. Okay, I don't need to turn me on, but phrasing. I need to like turn on the energy. I need to get into that mode. So that's why some things like updating the stream have taken a little bit. That said, I've been taking off for maybe a day, maybe even tomorrow to upkeep stuff. And I got the layout stuff done. I'm looking to get a bunch more starting soon music loaded up into this sucker, and also prepping some stuff for the main channel, and scheduling stuff. So that's been where I'm at. I thought I'd make this video just to touch base with everyone. If you want to support these endeavors, of course, obviously be sub to the channel, hang out, watch the streams, or watch these videos, engage with them. Best thing you do, especially, is whenever I launch a new video on the main channels, to gas it up with a like and a comment and a hype, if they still do that thing. I don't fully understand that new mechanic they've added, but it's just another way to put videos in front of people. That always helps. And of course, patreon.com/KZExcellent. After I do my rent goal, essentially, I'm like, all right, I've made the money that is the base amount for rent, and then I will have nothing after, and then the Patreon is what I'm able to use to properly pay my electric and buy the opening month week of groceries. So thank you so much for that. It is immensely helpful. And also, I'm like, that's also why I'm pushing for solo content or edited content on the main channel, because I feel like streams are a constant. I should be doing something else. That's why things like Movie exist, this new movie podcast I'm working on, and why I'm getting more into the Supercut stuff again, and like giving you guys an additional place to like watch stuff that isn't just that stream you may have watched like a chunk of 3 days ago. But yeah, that's it. Let's get out of here. Thank you for hanging out with me for this. I'm gonna go get back to working on some other stuff, and thank you, whether you've watched me a little bit intermittently, whether you're new, whether you're old, whether you've been here since the beginning or what. I'm old, man. Okay, let's get out of here. I will talk to you soon.